First News with Keeler in the morning on WIBX and WIBX950.com.
Hey guys, time to get in on the action for the biggest moments in basketball with Prize Picks, America's #1 fantasy sports app. Just select 2 or more players, pick more or less on their projections, place your entry, and win up to 100 times your money. Right now, Prize Picks will match your first deposit of up to $100. Just download the Prize Picks app and use the code GET100. That's code GET100 on Prize Picks for a first deposit match of up to $100. Prize Picks. Pick more. Pick less. It's that easy.
On the line right now is Rob Esche, president of the Utica Comets. And Rob, good morning. Have your ears been ringing this morning?
Yeah. Good morning. How's everybody doing?
Good. So, obviously the news came yesterday. What can you tell us here today? Are we without a team right now?
Yeah, we are. I think, this day was coming for 8 years. It was never a matter of if, it was a matter of when. Obviously, we've had a terrific relationship with Vancouver. We owe a lot to them. It's always been an honor and a privilege to have an AHL team in Utica. And the fans have built something that is, remarkable. And with that, they had an option that they chose to exercise on December 31st of 2020. And that option was basically, for them to relocate their franchise closer to home. And they exercised it.
So when you say, because we were going back and forth on this morning about the pandemic is the reason they're leaving, and I kind of had there's always been conversation that because of proximity, chances are Vancouver would not be their final stop in Utica.
Yeah, you're correct. I mean, when we started off with Lawrence Gilman, Chris Gear, and Victor DeBonis, who's their executives back 8 years ago, they were saying even back then that their goal, their long-term vision is to land someplace closer proximity to, Vancouver and be on the West Coast and, pull players up and down. And I think for us here, we do have the best location in the American Hockey League, but we also have the best fans. We obviously punch way above our weight class, and we've always done that. And I think that's what has been terrific about everything.
Yeah. So I'm going to ask you.
Well, so we had asked this, and I wanted to ask this question. You partially answered it already. I wondered, did you know that they were going to leave, or did they think you wanted out, and so they looked to make the move? So you're saying at the end of last year, basically, you were made aware that they were going to take the option, and I guess, have you been looking since to find a replacement?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, for 8 years, they've been looking for places to go. I've helped them research some of the places that they wanted to move to. And then on the flip side, we have such a great relationship that, I candidly was always looking. I think that's the job of somebody that's in my position, is to always think about the future and make sure that you protect the best interests of, the city, the building. And so I've been looking for 8 years just as well as they have. And what made that search for us, obviously we've narrowed it down, and we've talked to several teams since they exercised their option. But, everybody in the American Hockey League at the Board of Governors level, they know that Utica is, by far the best AHL city, out there as far as, we're not a big city in comparison to a lot of these other ones, and we do a terrific job of filling, the fans do, of filling the building and enjoying hockey. Their hockey IQ is extremely high here, and it's a lot of fun. So, no, we've always been looking because we knew this day eventually would get here.
So obviously the elephant in the room is the announcement from Binghamton that the Devils were going to be leaving there, and Binghamton is now without an AHL team going forward into next year. What are the chances that the Devils could be coming to Utica?
I think it's strong. I mean, nothing's finalized. I think that they had stuff that they had to deal with down in Binghamton. And, like I said, we were speaking with several clubs, and we still are. And, it's coming down to the wire where tomorrow is our Board of Governors call. Everything, is always going to be unofficial. Actually, even the move to Abbotsford for Vancouver has to go through board approval tomorrow. We got our Board of Governors call at 1:00. And I think for me, it's a small world, the hockey community. You hear the rumblings. We know everybody. Each one of us know everybody. And I think we started hearing about, Binghamton a while back.
Yeah.
Around the same time that we were going through our issues with it. And they weren't issues, but Vancouver's ability to exercise. And so for me, obviously, being very nostalgic of the area, I purchased the Utica Devils trademark. And again, you buy trademarks in the event something could happen, or if you want to protect the brand or something along those lines.
Yep.
So that's what I did. It wasn't because there was any discussions going on. I just felt it was the proper thing to do to protect the Utica Comets.
Rob, you say there's no team now. Are you confident there will be a team next season?
Yes. Yeah, I am. Again, for the 8 years, at the end of the day, I don't want to, downplay my role here, but at the end of the day, I don't really have much to do with it. The fans are truthfully the ones that built this. They built it for 8 years. And with the way that they operate, our fan base and how loud they are and how loyal they are, I think it's very tough not to have a team here, whether I'm sitting in this chair or anybody's sitting in this seat. I just feel like they've really genuinely transformed the sport in the eyes of the American Hockey League.
Do you, and when you think about the transformation of the auditorium, everything that is going on here, it really it's got to look, and also what you've done this season. I mean, it is you got to be losing money. And what you're doing, if I'm an NHL team, I'm looking at the fact how committed you guys are to playing hockey. You're playing in the middle of this. That's got to speak volumes.
You know what? We did this for the fans. We agreed. Basically, we went into the season agreeing to lose a bunch of money.
Yeah.
Just because we felt, we owe it to the fans to have these players, right in Utica, and in the event we can get people back in the building. So we thought it was the right thing to do, just because of how great the fans have been. This year has been a nightmare. There's no two ways about that. Yeah. We all know that. Anybody listening knows that this year has been very, very unhealthy in a lot of different manners. But we've battled through it. It's always been an honor to have an AHL team in this city, and we're looking forward to the future.
How is it? I had heard the story. I mean, we were told in the media that it was the importance of, in 1993, filling the auditorium when the Utica Devils were playing in a playoff game. That we needed to show New Jersey that Utica was a hockey town, and it was worth it for them to keep the team in Utica. So we pushed, and the media pushed. Everybody did a push, but we didn't sell that game out. And the word is, as legend would have it, that made the decision for New Jersey to pull out. What is different between hockey and Utica back then and where we are today?
Well, that's actually a pretty relatively easy question. Just simply, New Jersey operated back then. Now we operate. The city operates the team. Back then, Lou Lamoriello, they were there for 6 years, from 87 to 93. They had to put the city spent a bunch of money making the extension on the odd, so the ice was to the AHL regulations, and then they pulled out shortly thereafter. But they operated from New Jersey. They didn't operate, necessarily from right here in the building. They had staff and things of that nature here, but you need the boots on the ground. You need people that are going to, believe in what the hockey community believes in. And I think for 8 years we've shown that, Gary Heenan with Utica College did the same thing. Gary's the one that kept the lights on in this building forever. And, he's a remarkable human being, and he understood what Utica is. And I think that's, he's from Canada, and that's not an easy thing to do, but he came here, he understood what Utica was, and he went out in the community and he did the right things. I mean, we wouldn't be sitting here without Gary or the fans.
Do you agree that Gary showed people in this area that it could be done? I mean,
absolutely.
Absolutely. So
he did what the Clinton Comets of old did. The Clinton Comets all transplanted here from, their Canadian cities, and they embraced Clinton, New York, and Utica. They played half their schedule out of the odd, and they literally embraced what, Utica and the surrounding area is, and they remained here. They, had families grow up here. They ran youth hockey. Gary did all of it. He just, he took the same page out of their books and just, recreated it. And honestly, that's all we've done here. We genuinely believe in the community. And we don't do everything right. We know that. There's a lot of mistakes along the way, but we're willing to own the mistakes and become better because, it is the fans that own the brand.
Yeah. All right. How long would it? I mean, are you saying that it's possible tomorrow we could get word on 21-22 season?
Yes.
Okay. So then, Andrew, book him for Friday, would you please?
Definitely.
So, Rob, two
You
things.
don't hear me on Friday because I'm crying in a corner.
That is the most telling thing you've said during this entire interview. So, all right, who has something?
So, you had filed the request for Utica Devils, right? We talked about this earlier. Were there other team names you filed for?
No, there wasn't. And the reason being is, one of the reasons you file for those is, the protection of the brand, the Utica Comets.
Sure.
But also, if you ever want to resurrect, actually, I believe it was taken for a while. We tried buying the Utica Devils years ago, and I believe it was blocked at the time. And when we heard rumblings, we looked into it and we decided to purchase it. But if you ever want to resurrect, and do a special night, resurrect the name, and have a retro throwback, I mean, it's obviously nice to have for, any type of merchandising or what you end up doing. So there, I guess, the fact that they looked into it made it extremely awkward, obviously. I mean, that's clear, but, if I had the chance to do it all over again, I'd do it the same way.
So, and we've had some people commenting here and speculating. I'll ask, if you can find another team,
Rangers,
anybody,
Devils,
whoever it is,
whatever,
would you keep the Comets, or would you look to tailor it around, I guess, the new franchise?
You always have to tailor it around the franchise. At the end of the day, the NHL teams own those franchises, and whether it's colors or whatever it is, you always have to tailor it to the teams, the NHL teams. In saying that, without divulging too much, I like I said a couple times on the interview, I purchased the trademark to protect the Utica Comets. I didn't do it in reverse.
Gotcha.
Then, really quickly, what guidance do you have for season ticket holders who maybe have already had partial payments or full payments pending at this time?
I think patience right now until tomorrow.
Tune in Friday.
Yeah, greatly appreciate it. Obviously, I'm confident that things are going to work themselves out. I know that doesn't give maybe the necessary closure on what everybody wants to hear, but again, I'm confident. I think I'd really like to know what Big Honey's take on all this is.
Very important. Well, I mean, you got to ask
our go-to
him.
now.
You're going to have to ask him for permission on this move anyway, so you might as well get it over with. All right, Rob. Listen, I appreciate your position and appreciate you coming on this morning and filling us in, and really am looking forward to tomorrow and of course Friday's interview. Looking forward to that. Hopefully there is one.
Absolutely. Yeah, I do too.
All right. Okay. All right. Thanks so much, Rob. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Guys.
All right. From the Comets, Rob Esche. Read it how you will. I find it's kind of interesting.
Hey guys, time to get in on the action for the biggest moments in basketball with Prize Picks, America's #1 fantasy sports app. Just select 2 or more players, pick more or less on their projections, place your entry, and win up to 100 times your money. Right now, Prize Picks will match your first deposit of up to $100. Just download the Prize Picks app and use the code GET100. That's code GET100 on Prize Picks for a first deposit match of up to $100. Prize Picks. Pick more. Pick less. It's that easy.